Fire. It's a powerful force of nature. It can be destructive and dangerous, but fire can also be helpful and even beautiful. We use fire to cook our food and heat our homes. We enjoy campfires for warmth and light. Fire is a fascinating phenomenon. Have you ever wondered about the best way to put out a fire? We often use water to extinguish flames, but have you ever considered the temperature of that water? Does it matter if we use hot or cold water to fight fire? Let's dive in and explore this question. To understand how to extinguish a fire, we need to understand how it burns. Fire needs three things to exist: heat, fuel, and oxygen. We call this the fire triangle. Heat is the energy that starts and maintains the fire. Fuel is anything that burns, like wood or paper. Oxygen is a gas in the air that fire needs to burn. Remove any one of these elements and the fire goes out. This principle is key to understanding how water extinguishes fire. Water is great at putting out fires. Why? Because water absorbs heat. When water hits a fire, it absorbs the heat energy from the flames. This cools down the fire, making it weaker. But that's not all. When water absorbs enough heat, it turns into steam. This steam displaces the oxygen around the fire. Remember the fire triangle? No oxygen, no fire. Water's ability to absorb heat and turn into steam makes it an effective fire extinguisher. Section 4. Hot versus cold water, a scientific showdown. In this segment, we will delve into the fascinating world of thermodynamics and fire safety. Now, let's consider the temperature of the water. The temperature plays a crucial role in how water interacts with fire. Does hot water put out fire faster than cold water? This question has intrigued scientists and firefighters alike for years. Let's think about it scientifically. We need to understand the properties of both hot and cold water. Hot water has more heat energy than cold water. This additional energy can influence how it interacts with fire. This means hot water can absorb more heat from the fire before it starts to boil and turn into steam. The steam can also help smother the flames. In theory, this suggests hot water might be more effective at extinguishing a fire quickly. But theory isn't always the same as practice. However, cold water has its own advantages. It can be just as effective under certain conditions. Cold water is denser than hot water. This density can help it penetrate the flames more effectively. This means cold water might be slightly better at knocking down flames and reducing the fire's intensity upon impact. So, which is better? The answer isn't straightforward. Let's conduct an experiment to find out. By comparing both methods in a controlled environment, we can determine the most effective way to extinguish a fire. Section 5. Experiment. Putting water temperatures to the test. In this section, we will explore how different water temperatures can affect the speed at which a fire is extinguished. To test our theory, we can set up a simple yet effective experiment that will help us understand the dynamics of heat absorption. We need two identical containers, ensuring they are made of the same material to avoid any discrepancies. One container will be filled with hot water, heated to a specific temperature, and the other container will be filled with cold water, possibly with ice cubes to maintain a low temperature. We also need two identical candles to represent our fires, ensuring they are of the same brand and wax type. We need to make sure the candles are the same size and type, as even slight differences can affect the results. We also need to use the same amount of water in each container, measured precisely for accuracy. We'll carefully place one candle in front of each container, ensuring they are equidistant from the water source. We'll then simultaneously pour the water from each container onto the corresponding candle, making sure to pour at the same rate. Being careful to use the same amount of water for each, we ensure that the experiment remains controlled and fair. In our experiment, we observed that the hot water extinguished the candle flame slightly faster than the cold water, indicating a quicker heat absorption. This supports our theory that hot water, with its higher heat capacity, can absorb heat from the fire more quickly, making it more effective in extinguishing flames. Section 6. Staying safe, practical fire safety tips. In this section, we will cover some crucial tips to help you stay safe in the event of a fire. While our experiment showed that hot water might be slightly faster at putting out a small fire, it's important to understand the practical implications. In a real fire emergency, the most important thing is to use whatever water is readily available. Whether it's hot or cold, the key is to act quickly. The time you waste finding hot water could allow the fire to grow larger and more dangerous. Every second counts when dealing with a fire. Here are some essential fire safety tips that everyone should know and practice regularly. Always have a fire extinguisher handy and know how to use it. Familiarize yourself with its operation before an emergency occurs. If you have a fire, get out of the building immediately and call the fire department. Do not delay your evacuation. Never try to fight a fire that is too big or out of control. Remember, safety first. Your life is more important than property. Fire is a powerful force, and it's essential to treat it with caution and respect. Always be prepared and stay safe.